Peace and blessings, my beautiful people, from the beautiful city of ATL, better known as Atlanta, Georgia, here in the U.S. Some people say Hot Atlanta. If you're from another country, or if you're from South Africa, or from Asia Minor, or from South America, or Canada, or Europe, any of those beautiful places, border to border, city to city, country to country, continent to continent, I salute you in the name of our Heavenly Father and Yahusha, who is Jesus in the Hebrew. Guys, I love you. I want you to know one major thing before I get started today. You're special, you're important, and you're loved. Your Heavenly Father loves you, and there's some people in your circle who really care about you. And the reason I'm bringing this to you today is because, there's ways to really create wealth and abundance where you don't work so hard. And those same people you care about and love, you want to reach back and be a blessing to them. I mean, if they had something like this that they can give you, they probably would do it if they really loved you, and vice versa. So I'm bringing you an opportunity to change your life. And if you guys are new to my channel, if you look at all my content, you'll realize that I always try to give an encouraging word and inspire you to live your dreams economically. Because in most cases, the biggest problem with most people in the world right now, or issue they're having, is mostly financial. Sometimes it's health, but if you're okay financially, then you can see better doctors, you can make better decisions. But it's always something financial, right? In most cases, most of the stories that I'm hearing, sometimes emotional, sometimes relationships, but it all stems from a lack of money. And I want to help solve that problem today. Before I get started, I want to give you a couple of updates. The major update I want to give you, many of you heard about what happened with my wife. She actually, guys, we almost lost her because she almost went into a diabetic coma. We didn't even know she had diabetes. We didn't know it. So, I saw her having cotton mouth for a couple of days. Her mouth was really, really dry. And I didn't know what was going on. She lost 20 pounds in five days. That was the kicker for me. Could barely get out of bed. She was having heart palpitations. Couldn't really sleep at night. And she always, she always goes to bed between 1 and 2. And I had to start forcing her to go to bed earlier. But when she had this going on, she had insomnia where she couldn't sleep. So that was a negative. And very dizzy. And I said, something's off here. And gentlemen out there, you know your spouse. Pay attention to your queen and see if something's off. You'll know it. Same thing with you queens. If you see something off, you got to take them to the doctor. We're both apostles. We have faith. We believe the Heavenly Father, but we're not dumb either. We know we got to get up and go to the doctors because He's blessed them and anointed doctors to do what they do. So one morning, it was last Monday morning. I said, "Honey, we got to go to the doctor." And I'm glad we did. They said, "Jimmie, had you not brought her in here, she would have slipped into a diabetic coma at any time last night, and she probably wouldn't have woke up." Her sugar was over 1,000, guys. And we stayed in there 3 days. Within 24 hours, through much prayer and them doing their job, it went down to like 150 in 24 to 48 hours. Now, they had to prick her in her finger every night to check the blood. You guys know how that works. So every hour on the hour, they did that. She didn't get any sleep, but she got better. She gained back like 7-8 pounds because 20 pounds was too fast. Her skin was becoming frail. Her face was drawn in. Her eyes were really dark. And she was literally dying, right? If you look at a person before they die, they have a certain look about their spirit, their face. You can see they're leaving, and she was leaving. And it all came back within 24 hours. So I'm so thankful for the prayers, and the power of prayer is amazing, man. And, she's still bouncing back to this very day. She's back to normal almost, but it took a long time. I mean, they gave her all these fluids overnight. And I was up every night with her. So I didn't sleep because, we've been together 17 years. We've been married that long. And so when your spouse is not good, you're not good, right? But I want you guys to know I heard your prayers all the way from South Africa and Nigeria and from Canada. And I heard your prayers from Rome, Italy. And I heard the prayers from, Brazil, South America, and, in Mexico, everywhere, all over the globe. The people that are part of my business, I heard you praying. I heard it in my spirit, and the Heavenly Father answered your prayer. So, because she's back. So thank you. I wanted to give you that testimony because a lot of you don't know me like that. But if you're my audience, then you're a part of me. You feel you know me, and I feel I know you. I wanted to share that with you. Now, I have 5 minutes to share what I made the video for. I only have 5 minutes to share it now because now that I got your attention, which is the most important thing, I can show you how to really, retire yourself and other people. Aureus Alliance Holdings. Just go Google them, do your due diligence on them. I've been with them 4 months. Listen to me very carefully, guys. I've made nearly $20,000 in commissions just by sharing this with other people. And they paid me every day whenever I ask for the payment. USDT, whether it's USDT ERC20. If you guys are not, don't understand crypto, it's going to be Ebonics. I'm speaking blah, blah, blah to you, right? But most of you who understand that USDT is the dollar for dollar. It's a stable coin. So they pay out on the Ethereum network, Tron network, Polygon network, and what else? BNB network, okay? So basically what you're doing with this company in a nutshell, they dig for gold. It's a gold mining company. They dig in many continents in Africa. So if you want the long form video, I'm going to put it in the description. Go watch that content. It's like 2 hours long. You'll have a full display of what they do. You'll see the machinery. You'll see how they're digging. The behind the scenes work that goes along with it, the machinery and certain things, the licensing and all that. That's where the expenses come in. And what they do is they allow us to buy shares. So when you buy shares, I have 158 here. You're actually helping with the equipment. What they do in turn is they allow you to get paid dividends on your shares. Now the shares right now for 2 days left are $40 per share. I bought them myself for $20 a share back in February. You could have bought them back in 2025. I didn't know much about it. I did more due diligence, but I bought them in February. But back in 2025, you could have gotten them for like $10 to $15 a share. Well, this company's trajectory is jumping pretty fast, because now in 2 days it's going to be $45. They're going to be $45 per share, right? So what am I saying? When all these shares are sold, there's 672,000 of them left, a little more than that. The shares are going to immediately become worth or valued at $1,000 per share. So what am I saying? So I have 150 shares. When they go to full capacity, and then they're going to be worth more than 1,000. But when they hit 1,000 a share, my portfolio will instantly be worth $158,000. Do the math on it, right? Currently, it's worth $6,000, and I only paid $200 because at that time I bought 10 shares at $200 a share. I built a strong team, and check this out: Aureus not only paid me commissions on it, they also paid me fractional shares and whole shares, and it compiled into 158 shares. I keep wanting to say 158,000, but 158 shares is what I got, and growing every day. You guys have the opportunity. If you're out there, let's say you're retired, or you are a school teacher, right? Or you drive Uber, or you're an attorney. It doesn't matter what you are. If you're looking for a passive, quiet way to get wealthy without doing any work, this is truly passive income. You're going to click on the link, sign up for an account, and when you do that, you just start buying your shares. Right now, for 6 hours, 2 days, 6 hours and 16 minutes, you can get them in 43 seconds at $40 a share. After that phase, we're going to phase 7. It's going to be $45 per share. What I heard, and this is I can't confirm. I confirmed it with the ownership, but we don't know exactly what the investors are going to do. But they have a couple of investors right now that want to come in and buy all 672,000 shares. When they do that, you can't buy shares anymore. The beauty of what they're doing here is they're allowing the average person to come in and buy shares. It doesn't matter if you're homeless or if you're a millionaire already. You have the same opportunity to go in and buy shares. Doesn't matter. You know what you want. But the thing is, when the big shots come in and buy everything, then you can't buy shares. Now, Donovan, when I talked to him, he's the owner. JP is the CFO. They were telling me that these guys wanted to come in any day now. That was about a month ago. But sometimes when investors come in, it takes time to get the sale done. But Donovan told us originally he wanted the average person, no matter who they are, to come in and be able to create wealth. And you can. So my recommendation is, when you sign up, get as many shares as you can. If you're wealthy already, then you understand how this works, right? If you're not wealthy, you don't have the mindset yet, you're like, I'm not sure if I quite believe it. But I can tell you for sure, this is legit, guys. You can actually go to South Africa and meet with the owners. I have people in my downline. I have about 50 affiliates, guys, that are making just as much money as me, or sometimes more. They can actually call JP. JP was on my last Zoom call, and they can meet with the guy. They can go and see the projections of what they do and the equipment and how they're digging deep. Now, caveat before I show you the kind of money you can make. You only pay dividends. You get paid dividends 4 times a year. So if you sign up today, your first dividend payout won't be until October. Mine is coming up in April in July, because I got in before April. But caveat, you only get paid your dividend when there's production for that month, or for that period of 4 months. There has to be pure production. In other words, they're digging in Zimbabwe, they're digging in South Africa, they're digging in the Congo and Tanzania, et cetera, Kenya, Morocco, certain parts of North Africa, and all through Africa. But if it's a rainy season, they can't get gold out of the ground, then you may not get your dividend for that quarter. You get paid 4 times a year with your dividends, all right? January, April, July, and October. If you look here, my first payout is going to be nearly $5,000, and then again in October. So I'll make $9,000 this year on 158 shares, right? But here's where it gets interesting, guys. Now, I still own the shares. I don't have to sell them. Just like Apple or Facebook or Microsoft, when you invest and you get in ground up, or Apple, any of those companies, when you get in ground up from the ground up and you make a substantial investment, become an investor, and you sit on your investment, you get paid dividends. In other words, you own the shares and you get paid a salary almost, right? That's what this is. Alliance Holdings, Aureus Alliance Holdings is very serious about this. As long as you own the shares, you get dividends. So in 2027, look at my payouts, guys. This number is not accurate. They're working on that. But the average payout for me in 2027 is going to be $12,803. So in January, I'll get that. I'll get this in April. Well, in January, I'm going to get 12,000, not this number. Okay? Dramatic pause. So it's going to be 12,800 times 4, right? So that's, if you do the math on that, that's close to $45,000. And guys, that's if I do nothing. The shares are your wealth. Okay? Just like real estate, when you buy property, you sit on that property, you have tenants, and it's paying you. You own the property while it builds the equity, and you're making residual income from the payments that they're paying. If it's the house is worth $2 million, and your rent is $1,500, well, not $1,500, probably $2 million property is going to be what, $7,000 to $10,000 a month to rent it. So you got that plus the equity. That's what I'm saying here. You own the shares, and you get real proof of the shares. You get a certificate. I don't have time to show you guys that, but I got a certificate showing how much my shares are valued at, and I own them. I can take them to a bank whenever they sell all the shares and the value goes to $1,000 each, which would be between now and 2028. I can take it to a bank and I can borrow against it. I can buy property against it. That's how legit it is. And 2028, guys, the year of the election year in the U.S., I'll get $25,607 in January, same thing in April, same thing in July, same thing in October. I just made a salary of $102,000. All right. Let's look at 2029. It's almost doubling almost every year because the value of the shares are going up. I'll make $200,000 that year. $51,000 in January, April, July, October. Let's go to 2035. Let's say I just sit tight. Again, I always teach you guys when you're dealing with wealth, you never want to just sell everything, because if you sell everything, you don't have wealth. Wealth is what you're able to pass down to the next generation, and it's the ability to control your time, not necessarily the money, because you see athletes, football players, actors, they can blow $100 million, right? But if they don't take that money and put some of it in a trust and buy asset producing properties and assets that's going to create wealth over time, they're just broke again. You have to take your money and create wealth with the money. In this case, you invest one time, get paid forever, and you hold on to your assets and get paid your dividends, or the cash flow in this case, right? So in 2035, I'll make, it's only 2 payments in 2035, by the way, $191,205.16 twice that year. Look at that. And I still own the shares. And you can take this investment and pass it down to your children. You can pass it down as willable to your children, and then your children's children, right? The Bible says a good man or woman will leave an inheritance for his children and children's children. That's the way this thing works, guys. I'm pretty much done here. Okay, one last thing I want to show you guys. Here's how when you just sign up, you want to buy your shares. Okay, the affiliate thing is something different. I have other videos on how to make money as an affiliate, right? But you want to buy your shares, you go to shareholder dashboard. This is for the when you first sign up today, so you can get your shares today. I'm not talking about tomorrow. You're going to click on where it says shareholder dashboard. Go to where it says purchase shares. Click on that. Click here on the blue button. Put in the amount of shares you want, right? Let's see. Let's go back here. It went too fast. Purchase the shares. All right. So I'm going to put in how many I want to purchase here. Let's say I want to purchase 100 shares, right? There it is. $4,000 for the shares. I go to the next page. Now, again, I think I said it earlier. If not, I'm saying it for the first time. You can buy your shares with USDT. They use that. That's a stable coin, right? Here are the 4 networks you can buy it on. BNB, which is BEP20, USDT Ethereum, which is USDT ERC, Polygon USDT, Polygon Tron USDT TRC20. So let's say it's BNB. I click on that. It's going to give you, this is Aureus's information. You're going to copy and paste Aureus's receiving wallet, which is this, right? Pull up your Trust wallet or your MetaMask wallet or your Exodus wallet, whatever wallet you're using. You're going to paste this. If you're doing it on your phone, paste this in the send address where you're going to send your crypto, whether it be one of those options, right? When you get to the end, you got to go and make the purchase. Make sure you pull up the blockchain. Again, make the purchase on your, copy this, make the purchase on your wallet, pull up the blockchain, look at the transaction live. And it's going to give you, look for the transaction hash. If it's USDT BNB, it's going to be OX. If it's Tron, it's going to be with a T, right? The transaction hash should be with a T, I think. And then here's another very important part. You're going to look at the wallet that you sent it from. Your wallet needs to go here. So to find your wallet, let's say you're using USDT BNB, you're going to pull up that wallet and you're going to pretend that you're going to receive funds. Click on where it says receive. It's going to give you, it's going to give you the screen, the QR code is going to pop up, and then it's going to show you the actual address where you receive your funds from, right? Where you receive funds into your wallet. Well, that's what they need to see here. They need to see where you sent those funds from. That goes right here. All right. Transaction hash, your wallet where you sent the funds from. And then when you do that, it'll light up down here and you'll be able to submit the payment. If you're going to do a payment for someone else in your downline, you click here and you type in right here. You're going to type in their username and it pops up. So you'll make the payment for them and Aureus will verify it and send you an email on it. But that's basically all you're going to do. It's very, very simple. All right. Money, guys. When you're making money, I teach you guys this. It should be easily without all the complications. Wealth and abundance is easy. It's not difficult. The harder you work, it seems like the less money you make. I learned that from a millionaire a long, long time ago, and I didn't believe him until I realized, it's creating wealth is about systems, understanding how to leverage yourself, building teams and getting other people involved, providing a service where you're not using all your personal strength. Okay, I think John D. Rockefeller said it best. He said he'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of his own efforts, which means building a team, paying employees and things like that. Well, in this case, you're just using your money and a platform like Aureus to create wealth for you. That's what you're doing. You're going to invest and you're going to let the money become your employee, right? That's what you're doing. So let's just look really quick. And I want you to see this as an affiliate, guys. I told you how much money I made. Let me just show it to you again so you can see it. Let's go down here. Where are we at here? All right. So commission status, 18,000. You see what I'm saying? $142. All right, I have this amount available to withdraw right now. I withdraw money because every day I wake up, I make money. 157 shares. And the income that I showed you, the dividend payout. I didn't show you my dividend payouts, but the dividend payouts that I showed you was definitely for, well, I said that wrong. No, the dividend payouts that I showed you for January to December, that was me based on 158 shares. But you do the math if you want more money, all right? And whenever you refer somebody to this program, they sign up. They say they buy $10,000 worth of shares, right? So you're going to make $1,000, and they pay that money to you instantly. And then, you get entered into this project. It's called the Gold Diggers Project. They take a pool of the amount of money that's been created for the month. In this case, so far, it's for us, it's $46,840, right? Total revenue is $312,000 right here. But the amount of money that they're going to pay the top affiliates on is this number right here. Take a look at this, guys. I want you to see this. So first place so far, you only have 2 days left, is going to make $7,026. Second place affiliate, $5,621. Third place, $4,684. All right. Check this out. If you're level 4 through 10, if you rank 4 through 10, you're going to make $1,400 each. If you're level 11 through 20th, you're going to make $937 each. Look at this, guys. 30th, 21st through 30th, you're going to make about almost $500. 30th through 50th, that's what you're going to make. So I won this contest. I did a video on it. You guys saw it 2 months ago. They paid me almost $7,000. I was number one. Right now, I'm trailing about, if you look here, looks like I'm trailing about $9,000, right? So unless I do something drastic, I'm not going to win. But here's the thing. I'm third place. Look what they're going to pay me. just for sharing this with people. 31 buyers. If you open this up, you can see the buyers that came in. Here it is. Right? So you can see what they purchased. Right? This person 81, 401. Because these are real shares. This is a real business. This is real wealth and abundance here. Gold never loses value, guys. Okay? 2,800 here. And all of them are important. I'm just pointing out the bigger ones here. 1,200 there. See that? And this is all from this month. Okay? So it's awesome to see this. Everybody gets paid. Everybody makes money. And by virtue of you just doing this, they give you fractional shares. Even though you get paid commissions, they've gave me, like I said, over 140 shares, looks like. 130, because I only paid for 10 shares. 140. Yeah. So my wealth was created by virtually just building. It was created virtually by building a team. Literally. Okay. So you can do this. You guys can do this. If you want to do that, you want to be a super affiliate, you want to learn how to make, $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, you want to become a millionaire being a super affiliate, I will show you how I did this. It's a course that I teach. I have something called the Mastermind. It's a new mastermind that I'm transitioning to from my old one with my wife. It's called the Williams Legacy Mastermind. It has 4 levels you can enter. First level is free. Top level is $5,000 for the year. Why? Because I teach you how to do this. I teach you how to build a list. I show you how to create your own YouTube channel, how to go out and, how to market, how to go to, and put your product or service on, one of the most effective ways to advertise is solo ads. I teach that, and I show you how to become a brand, how to brand yourself, and you put things out there that are going to help people. You don't make promises you can't keep, but you teach them how to create wealth, and also demonstrate how to transform your mindset to success. You have to know how to succeed mentally first. Guys, it is mental before it's physical with anything, and I teach you that, and that takes time to retrain your mind. It takes time. But these are the commissions that just came in. As you can see, there's a long list of them. They come in by the second. This is real, guys. Okay? Make your money. If you just want to be an investor, rewind this video, go back and understand the first portion of just investing and how do you get rich on just buying your shares, waiting for the dividends to pay out. I hope you got something out of this, guys. Thank you again for all your prayers for my wife and myself. The next few videos I'm going to do are going to be in regards to what's going on with BitNex. I'm going to talk a little bit about why we left BG Wealth, and I'm going to address some of the scammers and some of the fakers and the people that come on my channel, and be very disrespectful. I'm going to address that because I don't want that energy over here, guys. This isn't the platform to be negative and disrespectful. I understand that with social media, negative energy sells. But just because it sells doesn't mean it's righteous and it's something that I abide by. I just don't. I don't want people coming on here doing that. There's one faker. He's out there. I call him a faker because he's a liar. He broadcasted a video talking about Queen Arlene and myself and just throwing our information out there and lying and calling us, fake teachers or fake gurus, and you know what I mean. And just he's calling us a scam artist. Now listen, guys, listen. There's a lot of scammers out there. That no doubt about it. But when you pick on someone, you start a fight with somebody you don't know and you don't know the truth, that makes no sense. And I don't do that. I don't waste my time on that. Why? Because this channel, I want to uplift folks. But this gentleman did some disrespectful things, calling himself a scam buster. Meanwhile, if you go to his channel and look at all this content, he's got all this negative stuff about people he don't even know, lying on them just to create a name for himself. So I'm not going to say his name in the video, but I'm going to address him very sharply, because most people sometimes when they think you're a nice person, they don't think you can come at them and but guys, we're not children here, we're adults, and I have to address this. So be on the lookout, and if you want to see that video, because I'm going to make it private, put a 1 in the chat in the description and say, Jimmie, I want to see that video, because I'm going to tell you who he is, and I'm going to share with you how to find him so you can look out for him and go look at his content, and don't harass him, because I don't want you guys doing that. I just want you to be aware of who this person is. He lives in New Zealand. And he crashed a couple of our Zoom calls, and when we told him to get off, he started, putting racial epithets in the comments. That's how I knew this guy was a troll and very disrespectful and kind of unhinged, and started spreading lies. And he's going to report me to the FTC and to the IRS and all that. I'm like, guy, you live in New Zealand, but I want you to know who this is and be aware of it. Okay, I had to go there before I closed the video. Having said that, let's make some money. If you look here, this is another little bonus that they're giving us here. Guys, just get started and I'll teach you what all this is here. This is some extra money they're paying us. I want you to make money. I want you to grow and prosper. Have a blessed day. I'll see you at the top, as I always say.